Hello, I'm a Brony analyst. Remember it so you don't have to. So recently, Generation 5 has been streaming on popularity among the bronies of this fandom, and I, the Brony analyst here, decided I want to be part of it. Because, like all bronies, including myself, I was upset when the show ended back in 2019, and I did miss it. But I wasn't fully upset because I know for a fact it was gonna return. Every franchise is never over, even if there is a definitive ending. They'll keep it alive. The fans will keep it alive, and even the creators will bring it back some way. For example, Pokemon has multiple generations of new monsters to catch in your pocket. That worked. Mario went from 2D platforming to 3D platforming, and then back to 2D, and then combined 2D and 3D. And it was genius. So, of course, My Little Pony had to be among those ships, and guess what? It has sailed. But just like the Titanic, it might sink. Because this brony analyst here is disappointed with what he's gotten so far with this Generation 5. More like 4.2, am I right? Oh my gosh. Generation 4 was a huge success to a lot of people, especially adults, including myself, okay? I have this t-shirt to prove my love for it, as y'all could see, you know? But the thing is, it wasn't just some regular kids show with subpar animation. No, it was an absolute masterpiece. It was a journey. You, just like Twilight Sparkle, was going on this journey to discover new locations and meet new friends and even meet these new creatures that you've never seen before. And it was so much fun. The animation was beautiful. The songs were so catchy and memorable. And all the action, I loved it so much. So, when the show ended, I knew for a fact that Generation 5 had to come out. And then finally, we had the Generation 5 movie that started off back in Netflix on September 24th, 2021. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was as amazing, but I didn't think it was bad either. And of course, A New Generation it's titled, because after all, just like in Wayne's World, it's the choice of a new generation. However, I was ready for more. I wanted to go bigger. I wanted to go, like I said, bigger and bigger, really. Because Generation 1 had its starts. Generation 2, a little bit bigger. Generation 3 had more to it. Generation 4 had all of it to it. So I knew for a fact Generation 5 was going to go bigger and harder than G4, right? Well, not in this case. It's kind of disappointing. So we have the Tell You Tales series, and whilst the animation is serviceable at best, I feel like the stories are just way too one-sided, and for 5-minute episodes, they cram in a bit too much, and the morals are a little bit conflicting. Like, for example, in the episode where Zip has to say yes to everything, I feel like the message is messed up, because it's like saying, you need to say yes more often. So does that mean if a stranger comes up to you and say, hey kid, you should try this, dude, it's really good, you'd be like, oh, My Little Pony told me I should say yes all the time. Yes, I'll try it. And then before you know it, you might perish. I'm just saying, these morals are a little bit conflicting. Also, jump into a trash chute to look for valuable items. Yes, I know Wally does it in the Pixar movie, well, Wally, but you know what? It's meant to do. He's a trash collecting robot, not an adorable unicorn who has to find a ring for her friend. Also, I don't know about y'all, but at least if there's one thing I will say the show does really well is that it does keep the shipping going. Because listen to this lyric in the Trash song by Izzy. Looking for a ring for Sunny? That sounds like a bit of a shit thing right there. I'm just saying. That's just me. But honestly, it's just so boring. The characters are kind of forgettable. And the only really interesting character is honestly Zip, because she feels like she's the audience, including myself, who's like, what is happening? Why should I be here? This is just wrong. There's something wrong with the crystals. And I get it. I get that Twilight was supposed to create the crystals, and I know that the comic books kind of explain it by IDW, but I can't read, y'all know that. And also, it just feels a little bit out of character. Also, more importantly, if this is actually important for the lore, where are the Wendigos? Why did the pony kind really become all racist all over again? It doesn't make sense. I'm conflicted about how this show is trying to present itself, because after the movie, they just forgive each other straight away, and then Sunny, well, okay, spoiler alert to those who have not seen the movie yet, she becomes an alicorn just like Twilight Sparkle. Yes, There will be multiple spoilers in this video, so I suggest you click off this if you haven't seen Generation 5, but I suggest you don't have to, because what's the point? It sucks. It really, really sucks. It just doesn't make sense. I get she's supposed to be, you know, the chosen one and all that jazz, but with Twilight, she had a whole journey through seasons 1 and 2 to free to become the Alicorn, the princess of friendship. Sunny was a random Earth pony of Maritime Bayday, which, speaking of which, where did the new creations come from? Were they built during the times before the main 6 passed away, or were they made, or were they just undiscovered by the main 6? Which, again, is a little bit conflicting for me, because it looks because Bridlewood looks way too similar to the Everfree Forest, and Zephyr Heights is literally Cloudsdale, but on a giant, but with more city structure. And that reminds me as well, the modern times. Man, and if you thought Generation 4 had some weird modern technology in it, like helicopters and loudspeakers and newspapers, well, guess what? Generation 5 takes it to a whole new level. We have iPhones, we have TV news and presenters, we have literally everything. We even have posters and cinemas. Yes, there's actually like posters in the background of the movie of musicals like Philly Elliott, Dirty Prancing, Harry Trotter, Trotformers. Like, what is wrong with... There's too many parts to count right there. Like, oh my gosh. Yes, I get Generation 4 had puns too, but they didn't like flat out make a reference to like a famous pop culture thing. Don't rely on pop culture to make your shows better, Hasbro. That ain't gonna work. And the Brony analyst here doesn't appreciate it at all. But hey, it's fine, it's fine. I'm sure it's just me, you know, overreacting. And let's have some fun. Let's just have a sip of Coke Zero and forget it ever happened, yeah? Let's just watch a nice clip from the show actually itself. I'm sure Telltale ain't that bad, right? Right? Yeah. Let's just watch this episode right here. This should be fun. I'm sorry? That's where we're going now? Fart jokes? Oh no, okay, now we really need to talk about this. So we're really going to the whole fully kids show, huh? Maybe this is why this is on YouTube Kids. Fart jokes now. Oh. Well, dang. Maybe I really shouldn't. Maybe this really is gonna suck. Like, can somebody explain to me why there's fart jokes in this show now? Please? Well, technically, darling, there was actually a fart joke in Generation 4. What are you talking about, Rarity? Explain yourself. Season 6, Episode 15, 28 pranks later. Whoopee cushion, Rainbow Dash's prank. Darling? Oh. That's a fair point. Well, actually, I'm not going to listen to you. You're worse pony, so I don't care. Bah! Man, I despise that pony sometimes. My point is, these jokes are way too kiddish, and sometimes when the show tries to be funny, it's just not working. And I get it. A lot of modern movies and shows, they try to be, you know, hip and cool for the new generation of kids, but at the same time, you're basically detracting the bronies from the olden days, including myself, to not watch it, because what's the point? The only reason to watch this is with your kids. No, that's actually not good at all, because guess what? Because of Tell Your Tale, I bet that's the reason we have way too many influencers on Instagram and TikTok right now. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? There's literally an episode titled Clip Trot, and I first thought it was like it being a fun little cheeky episode. No. It's full on related to influencers and people on TikTok doing these weird dances. Don't believe me? Just listen to the lyrics in the song. And then there's wondering why a lot of kids being, you know, influencers and, you know, TikTok lovers and all that jazz. I'll tell you why. You can blame this pony for that. Princess Pip Petals is making your kids become influencers. Just look at that. She's the reason that your kids will become TikTok people. She might be the reason my sister has become a fan of TikTok. Maybe she's the reason I'm on Instagram. You may never know. What have you done, Pip? What have you done? You've made all the kids influencers. No one's asking for this. Ah! Okay, my point is, if you want to become an influencer, that's fine. But don't make a show trying to force you to become one. Heck, even characters like Hitch don't see the problems. He's like, oh, my little Sparky Walky, you would get 100 million followers if you were on Ponygram. You're just feeding bad messages. 100 million followers? I barely have 10,000 subscribers, and yeah, I'm fully satisfied before I had 100. Seriously, y'all need to calm down with these pop culture moments, really. It's getting too much, really. Yes, I know I may be going too far, but let me explain as well why I'm not really a fan of this show, and this also will make a lot of sense. As a Brony analyst, I also really find the animation sometimes a bit off-putting, and Make Your Mark does fix that issue, but the episodes just feel very one-sided and repeated episodes. Like, for example, the episode titled Cutie Mark Mix-Up has Sunny and Hitch switch cutie marks, which sounds interesting, but guess what? It's been done before in Generation 4 with Celestia and Luna, and that was 20% cooler. Yes, I'm bringing back the OG Brony memes. Don't hate me for that. Yeah. You know? The only fun episodes was honestly episode 5 and 8, really. Because honestly, Misty was saving the show. I think Misty was an interesting character, but she's not doing enough. She's just trying to dragon nap little Sparky and give the magic dragon breath to her sorcerer of Opaline, which, by the way, we will talk about in a minute. Just be careful, just be patient, please. So yeah, Misty is fun and all, but people saying that they love her so much, I think they're going a bit too far. Like, what has she done? She's just being herself, being a bit of a cute, terrible liar and trying and always failing to kidnap Sparky. It's like, can you really love a character who does the same thing all the time, really? At least with Generation 4, each of the main 6 had their episodes where they did different things and felt a little bit out of character, but in a good way. With Generation 5, each character feels one-sided and they only think about one thing. Just one thing. Sunny worries because she wants to fulfill her dreams of having all ponykind love each other. Zip wants to be a great detective. Izzy wants to fix anything she wants because she loves crafting. Hitch is just, well, he didn't really have reasons to be starting the mood because he was, the first male stallion, which I guess is a nice thing to do, but at the same time, no one was a fan of Flash Sentry, so why you bring back Flash? Just FYI, I'm just breaking out a character here. These characters I'm mentioning, I love all of them, including Flash. I think he's a great character, but this is just my character I'm being as the Brony analyst. I'm trying to be like nostalgia critic in a way, so just don't take this too seriously. It's just for fun. It's a parody thing as well. Anyway, let's continue. So yeah, Hitch was kind of unnecessary in the movie, and in the show they try to make him important by having him be, a dragon dad. But at the same time, Twilight did that so much better with Spike in the Generation 4. Now, yes, I'm not a really fan of Spike overall because he is kind of a douche, and I know he's just a kid, and he's had some entertaining moments overall. Sparky, on the other hand, feels unnecessary, but not entirely. Maybe the hatred he gets is a bit too far. It's like the baby with Ice Age all over again. What's with the hatred of the baby? What did the baby ever do to you? So, yeah, the hatred for Sparky is a bit too far-fetched, but I understand where it's coming from. He did kind of come out of nowhere in Make Your Mark Chapter 1, and here's the problem. Here is the biggest problem with Generation 5 overall. There isn't enough action. Heck, there's probably no action at all, really. Seriously. The only intense moment in the movie is really the climax when Sprout tries to destroy Sunny's lighthouse, but at the same time, there was no crazy explosion or terrible casualties. There were close calls, but it just wasn't intense enough for a climax. Generation 4 was full of epic action moments. Heck, the Season 1 premiere. Guess what happens in the Season 1 premiere, bronies? That's right, the main 6 defeat Nightmare Moon, which, by the way, is a very scary villain for a kid's show. Like, if I saw Nightmare Moon near, like a filly or something, I'd be like, oh, whoa, bad touch, ma'am. I'm calling the authorities on you. Bad touch. You stay away from that child. That's how scary she is. But this show has no villain. Yeah, they have the antagonist Sprout, but he's kind of forgettable. I only like him because he's voiced by Ken Jeong because he was in the Hangover trilogy. He's funny. So, yeah. And here's another thing. We also have Posey, who's supposed to be like a hater, but she's really, again, just a hater, really. And the abuse she gets is way too much. I miss the Spike abuse. That was fun. The Posey abuse just feels unnecessary. It feels like you're just crapping on this character because she was made a big deal in the Make Your Mark special. I get it, but at the same time, what's the point? You're just being rude to a character that was rude to you. So, like, it's like you want her to get the punishment. So, you're kind of achieving nothing when you do that. My point is, I feel like Generation 5 is just trying too hard, but at the same time, it's not. It's not trying hard at all. I think it's not trying at all. It's just doing what it can. And a lot of the songs feel unoriginal, feel like they're taking from old Disney movies and songs like Disney's Descendants. And they also sound very similar to real songs. Like, for example, the song that goes, party, party, party. It sounds exactly like, we're gonna party like it's 1979. It's weird. Why do the songs sound similar to real songs? Make it more original. Generation 4 was full of originality, and I adored it. Generation 5, however, is just nothing but plain old, simple, boring, unoriginal. What is wrong with that? Give me more. I need something to actually, love. But in this case, I can't. I just can't. Chapter 2, Make Your Mark tried, but Chapter 1 had this really interesting cliffhanger of introducing the villain, but here's the problem. The villain is not doing anything. She's just sitting in her lair, just bossing around, ordering Misty to do stuff for her. How's he supposed to... Can you really call that a villain if she's not really doing anything, really purely evil? No mind control, no killing characters, no nothing. You're not doing anything right now. I get it. You're probably going to tell me maybe she has world domination plans. That is possible, but the thing is, I can't see that about her. Starlight Glimmer from season 5 premiere of the show is a brilliant example of world domination future villains. Like, she enslaved an entire village under control to lose their cutie marks / their talents. And I can tell she's totally going to do world domination when she gets all the ponies of Equestria to lose their cutie marks. But with Opalina, on the other case, what has she done that's evil to make me think, oh, she's going to do world domination, surely? I can't emphasize it enough. You can't call this a villain. Where's the action? I missed my taste the rainbow, mother. I'm afraid I can't even curse because, there's kids watching. But you know how it is. Every time a villain came into My Little Pony, the main six, bam, made them taste the rainbow of the Skittles, of course. But in this show, we have nothing. Sometimes Sunny does her magical ability of being an alicorn, but it's just not often enough. With her Twilight, she kept her alicorn wings, and you could tell which version of Twilight you're watching. Sunny, however, you feel like, wait, is this before or after she got the wings? I'm confused. So yeah, I'm the Brony Analyst, and there you go. This is why Generation 5 really does fail, and Generation 4 is just amazing at pretty much every little detail. Now, I know there's going to be a Chapter 4, and I haven't really talked about the Christmas special yet, but what's the point? Generation 4 already did it, so why talk about the same thing all over again? My point is, the Generation 5 could have been something great, but in the end, it just became bland, forgettable, unoriginal, and just so insulting. Just do yourselves a favor, just watch Generation 4 and just forget this even existed. And make sure you stay away from the episodes that teach your kids to be an influencer. I got my eye on you, Pip. You did this. Okay, viewers. Love you all. I shall see you all in the next video. Brony Analyst is out of here. Ciao.